Well, hello again, tipsters, and welcome to the GLT Tipper Podcast. On today's episode, we've got Steve Power coming in. Now, Steve is one of the head organisers of the Brisbane Truck Show. So today, we'll talk about the history of the show, what's new at the show, and a couple other secret things that will be announced on this show exclusively. It's going to be an exciting one. So, everyone, please welcome Mr. Steve Power.
G'day folks, time to talk some trailers. Sit back, relax, grab a coffee, heat up that $2 servo pie. Hey, put your feet up, only if you're not tall enough. Let's all learn a thing or two. Graham Lusty Trailers presents The Tipper.
And here we are, Stephen, live. Do you press Stephen or Steve? Which one is it? Steve? Beautiful. All right. First off, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, be a bit of fun, bit of chat about the 2019 Brisbane Truck Show. Okay, tell us a bit about yourself and what's your position at the HVIA?
Well, the bit that you're interested in is the marketing of the Brisbane Truck Show. HVIA does a lot more than that.
Yep.
We're a member association for everybody that manufactures and sells and services trucks, trailers, components, equipments, technology, the whole works. So that's our members, and of course they're the people that own us effectively, and in that sense they own the truck show as well.
Yep.
The whole reason we put it on is to help them connect with their customers.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so what does, obviously you touched base about that quite a little bit there, but what does the HVIA do?
Well, we work on a lot of policy issues.
Yep.
We work with our members through a committee structure to give them a say in what's going on across the industry from a regulatory point of view, from a technical point of view, design rules, etc., about keeping government honest, I suppose, in some senses, but also just trying to ensure that the red tape isn't getting in the way of doing business.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. When did the first Brisbane Truck Show kick off?
I was alive. 1968.
Well, hey, I wasn't.
No, I knew that was coming. So I wasn't old enough to add any value to it.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to say anything that's going to offend our listeners from that point of view, so we'll stop that. So 68 it started off in Rocklea in the yards of Hallmark Trailers, another great Queensland company.
Absolutely.
A couple of years later, as it grew, so the 21 businesses that came together to start that first truck show ended up forming our organisation, which at the time was CVIAQ, Commercial Vehicle Industry Association of Queensland.
Yep.
And that association became HVIA only 3 years ago, when we became HVIA to work alongside the national law through the NHVR and so on. But so the show evolved pretty quickly. It ran every year through the 70s and then started running biannually from then on. It moved to the RNA, the showgrounds, and it was there for 26 years, I think, and then moved across to the convention centre in 2011.
2011. Okay. So when does planning for a truck show begin? We're looking, say, 2017 finished. When does planning start for 2019, or had it already begun?
Well, yeah, for sure. To both of those things, yes. So we start the evaluation of the show while we're still there.
Yep.
We have a lot that's going on to monitor and measure, and you know there's a lot of stakeholders involved in the show. There's obviously the exhibitors who are our members. As I said, we're doing it so they can connect, but it's also a community event. And I mean the industry community primarily, but we'll talk a bit more about that later.
Absolutely, it's like almost schoolies for truckies, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is. And we refer to the Plaza Terrace Barbecue Bar as as the industry's favourite meeting place, even though it's only open every 2 years. But if you go out there and see people catching up, it's just fantastic. It's such a reunion.
Yeah.
And as you walk through the aisles of the show on every single floor, it's just wonderful to see the number of people with beaming smiles, having caught up with people for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So we need to connect with every single one of those people in seeing whether we're ticking the right boxes, and of course we can't stand still either.
No.
We can't just try and match the good old days.
Yep.
There's still a lot of fondness. I'm sure a lot of your listeners will say, it's never been the same since the old R&A days.
Yeah.
Which was essentially, the showgrounds were, 50, 60, 70-year-old sheds.
That's true.
And the challenges of putting a show into there, they were a big problem.
Logistics.
From a logistical point of view,
Yep.
from a work health and safety point of view.
Yep.
And as it is, the showgrounds have been completely renewed now, but there's only half as much space there as there was before.
That's right.
We couldn't run the show there now. We've been incredibly fortunate to move into BCEC, Brisbane Convention Centre, was the world's best convention centre. Only 2 years ago, when we ran the last show, they'd just received that award, and it's because it's got the capacity that other venues don't have. It's got the access to the city, to public transport, to the South Bank parklands. It's got fabulous facilities inside and out. We're really lucky to have a place like that.
It really is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I've been to many events there myself, and it's sensational.
Yeah, and what I love about it is when you, I would love for every single person that comes to the show to be able to be there for bump in, to watch it go from bare concrete floors into the amazing event that it becomes when the doors open on Thursday morning. It's just phenomenal, and we will be doing a time-lapse video of that again this year.
I was about to ask that. It'll be great viewing.
Yeah. So we'll make sure that you put that on your Facebook pages when we get there. But look, it's a stunning thing to see, behold, and when you've got all of the big Australian companies putting their best foot forward. They really make the place look $1 million, and in a way that they never could in the old days of outdoor shows and shows in sheds.
Yeah, absolutely. So sounds like a lot of planning. How many people are involved in pulling off like a big truck show like ours?
Depends where you start and where you finish. So our internal committee is 3 people. We have 9 people in our office, and it's all hands on deck when it gets down to it. There's 300 exhibitors, and that represents about 3,500 people that are participating in the show from that point of view. Every single one of those people have a big role in one aspect of the show or another. Yep. But we also contract in a lot of professional services to do everything from traffic management to building the show, to laying the carpet, to managing getting gear in and out. There is some extraordinary amount, and I should have reminded myself of the figure of the amount of gear that's stored off-site during the show. Yeah. Because once all the boxes are unpacked and set up into the stands, it's a huge amount of containers and packing boxes and blankets and everything else that have to go somewhere. So there's over 1,100 truck movements just to set the show up.
Wow. So a lot.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest answer in a word.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So we touched base about the Brisbane Exhibition Centre. How much does it cost to hire out the amazing place?
I don't know how you answer a question like that in a polite way, but but you could probably buy a couple of trucks and trailers for the cost of the space alone. The thing is that when an exhibitor pays to participate in the show, they're paying very, very little each person, but what they are doing is investing a lot in the equipment that they're putting on display, and not just the equipment, the displays themselves, but also, it's fabulous the number of people that are hosted to town, the number of events going on around the show, the dinners and everything else. the truck launches
Yeah.
taking place, the
Yeah.
test drives, there's so many amazing things. So the cost of the space is next to sweet. I'll stop there.
That's all right. just go, the cost of the space.
The cost of the space is next to nothing compared to the overall cost of putting on the show.
Fantastic. Okay, so I was at the last one. That was actually my first one, the 2017, believe it or not, and I loved every second of it, and it was packed. It had great attendance. Have you noticed the number of visitors attending the shows increasing each year? Or?
It's been, I think the absolute peak year was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
We are hoping that we're going to pass that this year. We've got lots of reason to believe that that's true.
Yep.
Part of which is that the industry's been in great shape for the last couple of years. In 2017, we had an unprecedented amount of new vehicles on display.
Yep.
The unveilings on the opening morning of the show was really special.
Yeah.
And of course the anticipation that brings people through the doors to see those things and climb into the cabs and get their grubby fingerprints on your trailers. And
we love it, yeah.
That stainless steel needs a lot of polishing, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, we had the Red Bull transporters there last year. Anytime little gap in the door, there was about 10 people lining up ready to get in.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a sneak in and have a
Yeah,
look?
oh, absolutely. Oh, look, it's magical. And, I think vehicles like that are one of the great things that really do connect the broader community with our industry. I think it takes those kind of things to make the community understand the vital nature of the heavy vehicle industry in Australia. The understanding of how things get to their door. The fact that unfortunately the train tracks don't run to the back of the supermarket, and their iPhone doesn't arrive by pigeon. Those sorts of things are really important, and the show's a brilliant opportunity for us to connect with everybody. Do you know we actually asked exhibitors about the idea of moving the days of the show forward and running it from Wednesday to Saturday instead of Thursday to Sunday, which it is. And the exhibitors said how incredibly important it is that we are open for the families on the weekend.
Absolutely.
And that Sundays are an absolute must-do, and never to lose that connection. And having our members and the exhibitors being so strong in those sorts of values is really inspiring, I think.
It is, yeah. Well, yeah, last 2017, the kids running around and it was absolutely loving it. It was, like the Ekka. It was fantastic.
They'll be doing our jobs eventually, won't they?
Hopefully. That's it. They'll hopefully all be in the industry.
Yeah.
Speaking about people, have we got any figures of which states are they travelling from all around Australia to attend?
Yeah, they absolutely are. It's I think in the overall breakdown, and we're talking about 35,000 people over 4 days. I think about a third of them are from Brisbane.
Yep.
About a third of them are from regional Queensland and northern New South Wales, and a third come from the rest of Australia.
Wow.
All over the place. And that adds up to a whole number. There's also an overseas component. So we'll have to redo the maths on that one a little bit. But for instance, we've got one group of over 80 New Zealanders coming over together.
Wow.
As a delegation this time round, and that's not all by any stretch of the imagination.
That's bloody exciting.
It is. It's wonderful to. I think we're talking about it being a reunion.
Yeah.
People really do come from far and wide, and at the time that we're talking right now, that there is a big buzz going on already in social media with people connecting from far and wide saying, you are going to be there, right, mate?
Yep. And social media definitely helps that. How many exhibitors are attending this year's show?
So there's about 300. We've got the main floor. It's funny, a lot of people that are involved in events outside of our industry.
Yeah.
You know, when they talk about a show with 300 exhibitors, they're looking at something about the size of a table and chair for an exhibitor.
Yeah.
Whereas some of our guys have got the best part of half an acre.
That's it.
You know, the displays are absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of them this year too. It's the new technology, and especially in the displaying, it's really exciting to see that's coming up. So we've got 300 exhibitors. Do we have many companies on the waiting list?
Well, there's always quite a number of people that want to get in, and of course, the existing exhibitors and members are key to that. To who gets the first right of refusal, I suppose. And there's next to no dropout rate year in, year out. I mean, there are companies that merge and things like that happens, create the occasional space. But overall,
the retention is huge.
It's pretty sought after. So there's a lot of companies who, I don't know, maybe the old term snake oil salesman. if they haven't actually proven that they've got product that is actually relevant for us, we don't want people that are selling stuff that's been brought in off the back of a truck. The show's got a reputation that's been built up over 50 years for the quality of the products, and it's really important to the people that have built that reputation.
Absolutely.
To honour it with the quality of the exhibitors that are coming in now.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you ever run the show each year instead of every second? Has that thought ever crossed
I think
HVIA minds?
I think the easiest way to answer that is to actually ask you the question, because as we were saying, the show belongs to you guys.
Yeah.
It belongs to the exhibitors, and the industry's told us no, that we don't need it, that a show every second year serves the market that we have.
Yep.
And that's been the case for nearly 40 years now. And I'm sure the question's been asked numerous times. Whether or not it was needed, but at this point, I think what we've got delivers great outcomes for everybody.
It does.
Fabulous business was done on the stands last time. People have been looking forward to it because the cycle of renewal of products also means that now we're at the point where there's a lot of new stuff coming out again, whereas maybe 12 months would have been a little bit too soon for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the Brisbane Truck Show, and that's absolutely booming. We'll head down south. And what are your thoughts of the Melbourne Megatrans show?
It was a really different show that they held last year. It took on more of a logistics sort of approach and was particularly relevant to operators around the ports and so on.
Yep.
So they brought in some really interesting types of exhibitors and conference topics and even the stakeholders as far as the various groups that came together to put it on. So I think that they've found a really nice niche, and in many respects I think that's healthy for the whole industry to have different reasons to go to different places, different groups of people.
Yep.
And obviously there's some common interests across them.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, it was great to see another event find its own footing down there.
Yeah, and well, do you think there is enough market, or Australia's big enough for a Perth, Melbourne, and Brisbane truck show?
Again, I'd ask you that question. Would you take Graham Lusty trailers to Perth and Melbourne and Brisbane?
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in a year. It sounds exhausting. But
we're fit.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. I mean, we had some fabulous Western Australian exhibitors at the last Brisbane Truck Show who are all coming back again.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And it seems to me that because of the size of the marketplace in Australia, having them all under one roof just makes sense. It makes sense that people are able to come from far and wide and have a look at all the different styles of products on display and all the alternatives and make educated decisions in one place. To me, the market to take all of that stuff to every regional centre It's optimistic. It's optimistic.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Never say never.
No, not today. Not today. No. Oh, look, I lived in Perth for 25 years. If we held a show over there, I'd be absolutely delighted. But, I'm not thinking it's going to happen tomorrow.
So we know a lot of the major car shows in Australia have failed or fallen. How is a Brisbane Truck Show so successful?
I think that we have a much closer connection with who our exhibitors and who their customers are.
Yep.
I think that the car show, it was always a glamour thing, but I don't think it had a real intimate connection with who the important people were. The other thing about our industry, as opposed to the car industry, is that the motor vehicle industry in Australia was always subsidised by government.
Yes.
So as taxpayers, we were effectively paying for each other's cars by subsidising to keep those companies here. The heavy vehicle industry has never had that. We've survived on our own merits, and that's crucial. It's the number of trailer companies building amazing bespoke trailers for their customers, world-leading, benchmark-setting design, engineering, manufacture, the things that we're achieving with things like the PBS scheme, for instance. What we do is just a step ahead in terms of leading innovation. Whereas in the car industry, I think we've always been waiting to see what turns up on our shore from elsewhere. And look, for me, it's devastating that it finished here in Australia. But when people talk about the automotive manufacturing industry dying in Australia, I'm very quick to tell them, man, it's far from finished. We've got a thriving, booming heavy vehicle industry.
Absolutely.
Doing amazing manufacturing in both trucks and trailers.
We do. Now I'll ask you a question that I'm personally really excited about. What is the 29 show? How is it different to the 2017 show? Can you let a few secrets out of what we're going to expect for it?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is just between you and me, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, okay. Well, assuming that, so this year we're starting a new concept, an umbrella event called Australian Heavy Vehicle Industry Week. So that basically starts on Monday the 13th of May, goes right through to Stumps on Sunday the 19th. And it's all about recognising the broader impact that we're having on the city through that whole week. So it doesn't all just happen at the Brisbane Convention Centre. There's already numerous events going on all around town.
Yep.
There's people coming to town with their own interest groups. We've got all sorts of other associations holding events. This year we've got the Nat Road Conference leading into the event as well. There's bucket loads of other associations who are holding their own internal events. There's dealer conferences going on all over the place. There's training events. There's drive days. There's also fabulous events going on in town. So, for instance, the Volvo Mac UD group have got a fantastic display in Redcliffe Place outside the casino for everybody. And they'll do some stuff
One good spot, yeah.
It is very, very high profile.
Yep.
Just as a taste of what might happen, and I don't know exactly what they've got planned this time. Last time they brought Mac from the Cars movie. The big playground semi-trailer that they carry around the countryside. It's fantastic, absolutely brilliant at connecting with the community. They had a couple of trucks, pink trucks, a pink Volvo and a pink Mac for the Pilbara heavy haulage girls who were training up ladies to drive in the industry. They're over there in Western Australia driving road trains.
Wow.
And really improving the industry right across the country. They were there in Redcliffe Place. There was some brand new trucks, obviously. The Made in Australia story that both Volvo and Packard with the Kenworth brand and now DAF have been pushing has also got great life there. There was a road safety campaign that they were running through that activation as well. Now this time around we've also got Daimler doing the same thing. Daimler through the Mercedes and Freightliner and Fuso brands doing the same thing at Queen Street Mall.
Wow.
Not the same thing, they'll do their own thing, but another outside activation. The one that we're particularly excited about is the South Bank Parklands. So, South Bank closing. Yes, this is it. You're the first to find out anywhere. South Bank don't even know this yet. No, it's not true. They do. The South Bank Roadhouse. That's what the whole area is going to be known. The precinct is becoming exclusively for us and our friends.
Wow.
And so effectively what that means is that we're closing down Little Stanley Street to traffic and we're parking trucks and trailers in there. We're closing the Stanley Street Plaza and putting trucks in there.
That's brilliant.
We've got all sorts of specials and flags and everything, making it all part of the whole Australian Heavy Vehicle Industry Week. It'll be such a social hub for all of our visitors, and of course, again, like, it gives us a fabulous opportunity to connect with the broader community.
Absolutely.
I think it's so rare to have the opportunity for our industry to be seen in other lights, and to for the community to know just what a big role we play. You know, I used to work for the Australian Trucking Association, and I got to attend a lot of events where I saw trucking operators around the country, and manufacturers as well, involved in supporting charities of one sort or another. And of course, you know, you've got things like the Brisbane Convoy for Kids, which is a very, very high profile event. But there are so many other charities that are being supported in every country town. And I mean, for instance, the rescue helicopters around the country have got huge fundraising going on. But it might just be the local football team or the kids' soccer team or whatever it is.
Girl Scouts down the road,
Our industry has always been amazing at being really forthcoming about getting involved and supporting community things, community causes. And I think that this whole space is a real reward for our industry to be able to share all of those good stories together. So we're really excited that
sounds fantastic.
Across the whole duration of the show and longer, that whole space is open with that display going on.
So that's the whole week, or
As soon as the doors close at the convention centre each night, we're expecting that everybody will be migrating down to South Bank Parklands. Now, in a lot of cases, people are going off to customer dinners and other events as well, but all of those have to finish at some point. We'll be waiting for them. So live entertainment, great dining, and just a great fun festival atmosphere.
That sounds bloody awesome.
South Bank Roadhouse, be there.
Yeah, well, we'll be there. We will. We enjoy a few activities, and I can't wait for that. I can see you can win a Hilux by attending the show. How did this competition come about?
How did it come about? We were looking at our marketing plan. And we had the opportunity to do a variety of different promotions one way or another. We have a fabulous group of partners that have come together. CMV Truck and Bus have come on board to make this possible. And the CMV group more broadly is involved in distribution of Hiluxes as well. So that's a lovely synergy that we're able to work with them to take advantage of. Our partnerships with BP Australia, with Bauer Trader Media, who publish ATN and Owner Driver and a bunch of other fabulous publications. As a group, we were able to come together and do this, and we're just really excited to be able to do something. A giveaway. There's no catch to this at all.
How do they answer it? Just
all you got to do is buy a ticket. There's a quick registration process like every ticket that you buy for anything. And you're in the draw. But better than that, when you get to the show, there's little scanning stations around the venue, and you've just got to pop in. You've just got to scan quickly and accumulate more entries. So. Then the Hilux gets drawn on Sunday afternoon. So somebody that's been to the show over the course of the 4 days is going to walk away with it.
Winner a new car.
It's a top of the line car. I think for the people that like trucks, it's pretty hard not to like something like this as well. The Hilux Rugged X. It's pretty iconic.
It is. It is. Yeah. Don't forget to enter people out there. Also saw there's an apprentice challenge. Can you explain a bit more about this one?
Yeah, the National Apprentice Challenge has been going for a number of years. It's been brilliantly supported by our exhibitors.
Yep.
This year, Iveco are supplying the vehicles, so we have 3 identical trucks, and the teams are selected from apprentices from all over Australia.
Yep.
We have a team from the northwestern region, Northern Territory, Western Australia, one from the southern region, South Australia, Victoria, Tasmania, and the eastern region, New South Wales and Queensland. So we've got 2 guys selected from over 70 nominations.
Yep.
To represent their different regions. Over the course of the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we run heats. They all have to diagnose a whole series of problems that are pre-programmed into the trucks, thanks to our mates at Skills Tech in Queensland here.
Yep.
And then over the course of a couple of days, they'll accumulate points. It's actually a very dynamic competition. So we've got grandstands set up so that people can watch this.
Yeah, where's in the hall?
It's actually in one of the loading bays. It won't look like a loading bay when it's set up for the competition. But so it's just off the main hall. And there's a lot of really interesting commentary and interview with some of our industry ambassadors and so on that'll be down there. And it's a lot of fun. And at the end of the experience, one of these teams becomes the Apprentice Challenge champions, and they get some tickets to the V8s at the Gold Coast later in the year, and
exciting.
some tool prizes from Warby Tools here in Brisbane, and a whole bunch of other great little incentives.
Go teams, go! Best of luck to them all out there.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's not too busy. I'm sure we'll take a sneak peek and have a look at some of the heats. And if you were a young apprentice, or say you don't have a job yet, still at school, is there anywhere you can go to talk to people?
Do you know, that's a great idea, and I'm glad you asked. That's
Thanks.
So we have the Jobs Hub, and it's an initiative that has been a part of the show in one shape or another for many years.
Yeah.
We bus in about 600 or 700 kids, and probably more this year, to be a part of it.
Yep.
But it extends way beyond that. So traditionally, the kids have come in and they've listened to people talk about career paths and what they need to achieve at school and so on. This time around, we're bringing in some really exciting young ambassadors from all sectors of the industry. People that drive trucks, people that make trailers, people that are involved in manufacture, people that are involved in marketing, people that are involved in all sorts of different aspects of the industry that you wouldn't necessarily pick straight away. And they're talking about what they've been doing in their careers and the exciting journeys that they're on. And some of these people are going ahead in real leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
So they're gonna talk to the kids about, look, this is why I love this industry. And then there's an exhibition component specifically for the Jobs Hub, where there's a bunch of people that they can connect with to find out more, depending on which particular thing has really got them excited. A lot of the kids that are bussed in have already been identified as perhaps they're heading towards doing a trade, but of course we're really interested in far more than that. Even here at Graham Lusty Trailers, you've got a young crew who are doing designing, CAD drawing, 3D stuff.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about that. We actually picked up one of our head engineers here from the truck show in 2017.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Walking around, chatting to people straight out of university. Yeah.
That is just the best story.
Yeah. So all the kids or adults out there, don't be afraid to come around and ask.
Yeah. Well, it gets better.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
Yeah. No, we don't stop now. We have a whole jobs exchange program, so people can get online right now.
Yep.
And they can look at a whole bunch of jobs that are being advertised on there.
Do we have a website we could?
All they got to do is go to the Brisbane Truck Show website, brisbanetruckshow.com.au.
Yep.
And just look for the Jobs Hub. It's easy to find. You'll be able to go in and have a look at the listings, submit your own resume, apply for particular jobs. But better still, come along to the truck show and meet the people that are offering these jobs and sit down and do speed interviewing with a bunch of these people. So a great opportunity to connect.
Yeah.
And obviously it'll help people to fine-tune what they'd like to do. But it's not just for young people, it's for people of all ages and walks of life.
Yeah.
Ladies, men, anybody that wants to come. We've got a bunch of return service people coming to the show who are looking to transition into the industry.
Brilliant.
And there's all sorts of fantastic initiatives coming out of the back of this. We're hoping that by the time the show's over, we're going to be talking about a couple of hundred jobs where we've found people to fill places. It's a really exciting story.
That's sensational.
I should pay tribute to the Queensland government for getting behind us on all of this. The whole Australian Heavy Vehicle Industry Week has been possible with their support. The City of Brisbane as well have really come on board this year. We were talking about South Bank before, South Bank Parklands, South Bank Corporation, all the traders down there. We've just been absolutely delighted with how the whole town and state have really decided that this show is such an asset. We need to do everything we can to grow it, build it, make it bigger and better and last forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to all those companies. Thanks for embracing it. We touched earlier about the Nat Road Conference. What is it and who should attend?
Nat Road, Australia's largest road transport member association.
Yep.
So everything from owner drivers to large fleets are involved in it. They represent the industry that does cross-border work, really. That's probably the easiest way of summarising where their members come from. Their conference is a bit iconic.
Yep.
They travel around the country, take people to destinations that are great to take a couple of days away from work.
Yeah.
Just take a break, get your head away from that.
Yep.
Connect with your mates, your peers. Find out a bit about what's going on in the industry, behind the scenes stuff. Get involved in developing industry policy and having your say on the issues that are going on, the big issues.
Yep.
Get some really good insights to take back to the business and just smarten up what you're doing there as well. Look, we're really delighted that they've brought the conference to the show. We've worked with them to find the best possible model to fit it in. For the visitors coming to the show, it is such a great value add.
Yeah.
To come to the show for one extra day and walk away with that extra value is just absolutely brilliant. Perhaps I should add to that, at the show, there's all sorts of other free content as well. Stop it, there's more. There's steak knives. So there's the KPMG Insight Centre.
Yeah.
We're running free seminars right through the whole show. There's little 30-minute seminars.
Wow.
And they cover everything. So they're being presented, some of them by the exhibitors, talking about new technology and great ideas about how that can be incorporated into the fleet. There's some great stuff from some of the associations about everything from managing fatigue to managing your finances to running different stuff on the HVIA portal and understanding how to get better value out of that.
Yeah.
There's so many good topics and they're all free, bite-sized, go in, get some value, then head back out to the halls and have a look at some more new gear.
Bloody brilliant. Sounds sensational. Okay, so we'll wrap this up. Whereabouts can people find more details about the Brisbane Truck Show?
Well, so the Brisbane Truck Show website, brisbanetruckshow.com.au, and I think the best idea for people that are interested in this sort of thing is to connect with us through social media.
Yep.
Facebook in particular. You'll see all the different announcements that are being made all the time.
Yep.
But the truck show's got huge information about all the program, all the different events, all the what's on section, all the latest news. All the exhibitors are putting out stories every day about what they're going to be displaying.
Yep.
Find your way around the place. Yeah. I think that's part of the fun though, is getting lost.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
And we were talking about sort of the social hubs of the place. You know that if you don't run into somebody in the hallways, because inevitably you say, "Oh, have you seen Robbo?" He's like, "No, he was here 5 minutes ago." "Oh, mate, can't find him anywhere." You know you'll find him upstairs at the Plaza Terrace later in the afternoon.
Absolutely.
But now, even better than that, you'll head over to the South Bank Roadhouse.
The South Bank Roadhouse, yes.
That night, there's Robbo waiting for you with a beer in hand, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for coming in and having a chat. I know GLT are very, very excited of being one of the exhibitors there.
We're delighted. We're just really looking forward to seeing all of your listeners at the show. Absolutely. We'll see you at the truck show.
All right. Cheers, guys. And there we have it. I hope you are all as pumped for the truck show as I am. A big thanks to Steve from HVIA for his time today. And how good does that truck stop area in South Bank sound? I'm definitely going to have a beer there. So hopefully see you all there. Alrighty, on our next episode, we have Jessica Dane. Jessica is the commercial manager of 888 Engineering. We'll be chatting about her role at 888 and learning about the commercial and business sides of the empire. It is going to be amazing, so stay tuned for that one. Until next time, have a grand old time out there.